To much of the world, he was known by his Latin nickname AlKhwarizmi, which became the origin of the word algorithm. He pioneered a method for solving problems called Algebra, today known as Algebra. 1,200 years ago, he published the first atlas of the known world, wrote the first math textbook, and was calculating the movement of celestial bodies when Europeans were basically staring up the sky through toilet paper tubes. His name was Abu Abdallah Muhammad ibn Musa AlKhwarizmi, but you could just call him AlKhwarizmi, the man who made possible the math we use today. Oh, also including all the numbers that we use. Though his most lasting legacy was introducing so-called Arabic numerals to much of the world, he wasn't an Arab. He was most likely Persian. Born in what is now Uzbekistan around 780, AlKhwarizmi first appears in historical records as an instructor at one of the great ancient Islamic learning institutions, Baghdad's House of Wisdom. Sounds kind of like a theme restaurant owned by celebrity nerds. The House of Wisdom was actually a crossroads of the great civilizations of the ancient world: Babylon, Greek, Hindu, Arabic, Persian, and AlKhwarizmi liked to wet his beak in the knowledge that each had to offer. He studied the ambitious math of the Greek scientist Ptolemy, for example, who had tried to measure the world. But AlKhwarizmi discovered that Ptolemy's calculations were wrong, so he corrected and reorganized all the data. With new coordinates and the help of some 70 geographers under his direction, he compiled a book called The Face of the Earth, a complete explanation of the geography and cartography of the known world, thought to be the first of its kind. He was also the official astronomer of the court in Baghdad, and as part of his duties, he compiled charts that tracked the moon and 5 planets. These tables turned out to be so useful and accurate that centuries later they would be translated into Latin and Chinese and circulated around the world. But his real passion was for mathematics, and he eagerly accepted a commission from Muslim leaders to come up with a text for the general public about how to do basic calculations, like for conducting trade and making measurements. The result was a text with the inimitable name, The Compendious Book on Calculation by Completion and Balancing. In it, AlKhwarizmi explains how to solve linear equations and quadratic equations with what he called algebra, or completion, by subtracting or dividing an amount from both sides to find a missing figure. You know, solving for x.